In just a few minutes, I'm going to share with you the #1 way that you can instantly increase your profitability in today's games, no matter whether you are a beginner or someone who is currently beating the games and looking to increase your ROI even more. The strategy that I'm going to share with you is something that is rarely taught or discussed on other strategy sites. The other strategy outlets out there are just teaching the basic ABC sit-and-go strategies. While there are several different game types, from 6-max through 180-man sit-and-goes, and tons of variables, such as your cards, your stack size, and your opponents, there are defined winning strategies to these games. For example, your basic ABC strategy says, in the early game, you're supposed to be playing very tight and only playing your premium hands. Then in the mid-game, as the blinds are increasing, you should try to steal those blinds, but still remain relatively tight. Then, as you approach the late game and are down to around 10 big blinds, you can only push or fold, and many times, these decisions are left to basic charts. If you have been using this strategy, you have probably seen some success, and have been happy to be profiting and seeing your graph rise. This was the way I learned as I began playing sit-and-goes, and the way many sit-and-go players have learned to beat their respective games. However, what I'm going to tell you may shock you, or maybe not, since many of you have approached me expressing these same feelings. There is a problem with this strategy in today's games. The strategy that I just described, quite frankly, is outdated. As with all things in life, whether it be business, sports, politics, whatever, things change, and in order to continually be successful, you need to adapt to those changes or else you will fall behind. The reason that the tried and true sit-and-go strategy is outdated is because there have been changes going on in online poker due to its growing popularity, with more and more coaches, like myself, out there making videos and more strategy sites popping up. This is great for the poker community. However, the end result is that more and more players are getting better and understand these basic strategies now, which means there are just simply less fish at the table. As a result, many players, many good players, have seen their profitability and ROI decrease over the past year. I'm going to pause right there to explain this a bit further. I have seen this change occur firsthand because, as a team, we have staked and coached several thousand players over the years. That means we've reviewed thousands and thousands of games and looked up the results of thousands of players. So often, we get players who apply for stakes that were winning players in 2010 and 2011, but their graph is just plateaued. There are also many players that feel the games are just too hard now to be profitable, and they either change their game type or quit altogether. The reason the games seem to be getting tougher is, as you move up stakes, and by the way guys, I'm not talking about high stakes. I'm talking about games like the $7 and $15 9 and 18-man sit-and-goes, the $3 rebuy 180-mans, the $8 180-man sit-and-goes. These are very popular games among regular winning players. As you hit, say, that $15 18-man level, you will often find many winning grinders who are playing these stakes for a living. So if you have more winning players in your games, and the games are getting more difficult, then what do you do now? Do you change games? Do you quit altogether? Essentially, you need to ask yourself, if the games are getting tougher, and you're at a table full of winning players who understand pushing and calling ranges, they understand ICM, they understand proper sit-and-go strategy, then where will your edge come from? Now, I'm going to be blunt. No matter how good you think you are, if you're sitting at a table full of competent players, you're going to have a very minimal edge by using that basic strategy that we discussed before. But that does not mean that online poker is dead like many are proclaiming these days. However, in order to regain that edge and continuing to crush the games, something needs to change. This is where you need to realize that now you need to adapt to the current conditions of the game, and that's why we developed this website. Just to give you a few examples about how things around us change and how you need to adapt to survive, just think about book and record stores. Everything is going digital now with iPods and tablets. If you owned a brick and mortar CD store, your business most likely shut down in recent years. For you football fans out there, And guys, I'm talking about American football. I know many of you that are listening are not from the United States, so I apologize. But the winning strategy used to be all about the running game and having a solid defense. Now the winning strategy for most teams is going towards having a high-powered offense centered around the quarterback. My point is, it's all about adapting to the changing environment to have success year after year. And the same is true for online poker. The game is changing, and the sooner you realize that and adapt, the sooner you will find yourself crushing the games like never before, rather than falling by the wayside like an old, outdated record store. And that is the reason that we developed this website and the strategies that you're going to find in the members portal. Inside the members portal, we will show you how you can become a massive winner, even with other winning players at your table. But before I get into the secret sauce of how to adapt, I want to take you back in time and describe the process in which I learned these strategies, adapted them, and put them together into a very unique training site to help maximize your success. I went to Lafayette College from 2002 to 2006, where I was a math and economics major and also played on the baseball team. After I realized I was not going to be a professional baseball player, for 5 years after, I worked as a financial planner for a big firm in the city. While I was working full-time, I started playing online poker a bit. It started out as just something to do for fun since I've played poker my whole life as a hobby. And I'm probably the most competitive person alive, and I hate doing things without giving it my full effort and trying to become the best. So, like many of you, I went out and started buying poker books, watching tons of strategy videos, and reading every strategy article that I could get my hands on from various poker sites. Then I went and bought all the necessary software like Sit and Go Wizard and Hold'em Manager. I would spend hours and hours every week after work just learning and trying to figure out how to beat the games. Well, within my first year and a half of playing, I found some early success with a small $50 deposit, made just over $20,000 in my part-time just playing small and mid-stakes sit-and-goes. During the financial recession in 2009 and 2010, I decided to leave my financial planning career and start a business in the poker industry through staking, coaching, and continuing to play online. I even continued to play online after the infamous Black Friday, while also coaching 3 to 5 small and mid-stakes sit-and-go players every single week for the next full year. But as is my nature, I wanted to get even better as a player and as a coach. I saw some top players that were absolutely crushing the games more than anyone else, and I wanted to learn what they were doing that was different so that I could improve and also pass on these strategies to my students and stakees to help them achieve results above and beyond the rest of the players as well. So instead of going at it alone, like I had done in the years prior, I decided to search around and enlist the help of other top players. I found 2 players in particular who were running their own coaching business and were preaching about strategies that go above and beyond the basics, which is exactly what I was after. Well, after a few months of coaching and hand history reviews, they opened up my eyes to a new way of thinking about sit-and-goes and showed me that secret sauce that needs to be applied in today's games if you really want to achieve online poker success. After learning these strategies, over my next 4,000 games, I achieved a 16% ROI in the reg-infested $15 and $30 18-man games, a 12% ROI in my 6-max games, and a 10% ROI in my 9-man games through the $22 buy-in level, with never more than a 30 buy-in downswing. These were all 3 to 5% increases in my own ROI compared to what I was previously doing. And if you are familiar with those game types, those ROI percentages are several percentage points higher than most of the winning players in those games. Now guys, it is important to note, I'm just playing part-time, as my daily schedule is consumed with staking players and doing hand history reviews with my players. Just think about it though, if you can take the strategies that I'm about to discuss and apply them to your full-time playing schedule, or maybe you're a part-time player as well, think about how an ROI increase of 3, 4, or even 5% would impact your monthly income. I'm going to come back to this in just a minute. At this point, I can imagine you must be wondering, what are these new strategies? Well, as I mentioned, the other strategy videos, sites, and forums out there, they're typically just discussing ABC strategy using Nash equilibrium charts and basic ICM software to show you unexploitable strategies to beat sit-and-goes. And don't get me wrong, those unexploitable strategies are profitable ones. But now I'm going to stop right there and say, stop being unexploitable and start being exploitable. I want you to think about every game you play as an empty jar, and every time you make a play that has a long-term positive expectation or plus EV play, money gets put into that jar. And the more plus EV plays that you make, the more money that gets put into the jar. So by the end of the game, your ROI and profitability are determined by how many of those positive plays you make throughout the game. While playing unexploitable can allow you to profit at the tables, it actually limits the number of positive plays you can make while also limiting how profitable a given play can be as well. Think of the unexploitable ABC strategy as filling up that jar halfway with $1 bills. But if you can add in some more exploitable strategies like the ones in our members portal, you will be able to fill up that jar even fuller with much bigger bills, because you're going to be identifying so many more spots where you can take advantage of your opponent's tendencies rather than just playing based upon your cards and charts. So the question is, which jar do you want to have in the end? So naturally, the next step is showing you that secret sauce. To develop the foundation for these exploitable strategies, what I did first was put together a 5-part sit-and-go series. I actually ran this series several times as a 5-week boot camp over the past year, where I outlined the specific exploitable strategies for all stages of sit-and-goes, which you will be able to instantly add into your game. You can read more about this series below and the comments from many of the attendees as I outline what is covered in each video. Now, it is important to note that you're not going to stop making those unexploitable ABC plays that we discussed earlier. What you're going to do is combine the two when appropriate to play a more optimal game, which is exactly how you should be playing, optimally. When done correctly, your poker IQ will increase dramatically, allowing you to think ahead of the other players who are still playing like zombies, multi-tabling and stuck at looking at their charts and clicking buttons without thinking, which in turn is going to allow you to come in first place a lot more, which ultimately means more money in your pocket. Now, the 5-part sit-and-go series alone will provide you with the foundation for these new strategies. However, that is only the beginning of what our members portal has to offer, because to achieve ultimate success, you need more than just a video or charts or even a personal coach. There are 3 rules to success, and that was the way in which this site was built. The first rule of success is to practice smart. Practicing by reviewing hands, using Sit-and-Go Wizard, and reading books will be helpful. But what you really need to do is get smarter and understand why you are making certain plays, which is exactly what we did when putting together these strategies and videos. You will learn not just what you should do, but why you are doing it. Your success and the amount of money you make at the tables is directly correlated to how smart you get at the tables. The second rule of success says that you do not have to have an innate ability to win, but rather you need to take advantage of your critical chance for success. Let's take 2 players, one who goes at it alone and one who starts out with the plan laid out in front of them. The player going at it alone is going to spend the first few months just figuring things out, learning how to set up software, asking questions in forums, and trying to figure out which games to even play, then maybe watching some videos. This is how I started out, by the way, and I know this can take multiple months, where you may just be spinning your wheels without much progress right away. And the same goes for even if you've been playing for a while. If you're trying to get over that hump, going at it alone can take a while to figure out these new strategies. Now, let's look at player 2, who starts day 1 with the optimal strategies laid out, along with a community of other players, updates on the softest games, poker software guides, and direct access to other coaches at your fingertips. Who do you think is going to have the most success right out of the gate? I know I certainly wish I had the opportunity to take path number 2 with everything I needed in one spot. Taking advantage of proven strategies on day 1 is called your critical chance for success. That leads into the last rule of success, the snowball effect. As I just mentioned, when you start out with all this information that has taken years to develop, you are taking advantage of a critical chance for success. But that is not a one-time deal. you get the advantage of even more critical chances coming your way again and again, such as when we provide you with new updates, new strategy videos, maybe even new poker room bonus opportunities. This happens with each critical chance over and over, which continues as an exponential snowball effect that will keep you way ahead of your competition. With those rules of success in mind, we have put together a members portal that is way more than just strategy videos. In addition to the 5-part Crush the Reg Sit and Go series that will show you those new exploitable strategies, we will provide you with a community of top players and coaches for support. There is nothing worse than purchasing a product online to then not have any live support. Well, that is not a problem here. Once you join our team, either through being staked, coached, or by purchasing access, you will instantly become a part of a large and helpful community of all winning players. We have an extremely active Skype group of top players who are always discussing strategy, giving support, and also chatting about non-poker related topics. So you will not only gain acquaintances, but friends as well. In addition, I and all of our coaches are available on Skype to chat with you and answer your questions as well. So you will always have a name and face to turn to. Now, there is more. You will also have access to our group study sessions. These sessions are run by myself and the other coaches on specific strategies and game types, where team members submit their own games and hands for live review with other players. Discussing hands and strategies as a group is one of the best learning resources, and you receive lifetime access to these sessions as a Crush the Donks member. These sessions are also recorded, so if you happen to miss a session, you can still view the recording, as well as all the previous recordings dating back to 2011. We have also put together what we call our sniper concept videos. These are strategy videos that hone in on a specific topic and record it in presentation style, such as how to play in the blinds, heads-up play, post-flop play, and much, much more. Videos are updated and added to the site regularly, and you will have lifetime access to all future videos added. You will have access to written hand history reviews. Our players often submit games for review where we write up an entire review on all of the tricky and interesting hands from that particular game. We have reviews on 6-max through 180-man games, and they are available to download and review. We also have something we put together called Grinder Interviews. This was a fun little questionnaire that we gave to all of our team members. Essentially, each and every day, players are asking myself and the other players in our Skype chat a variety of questions in regards to their playing routine, the best games to play, how to battle those dreaded downswings, what their goals are, and naturally, everyone has different answers. However, we thought it would be a great resource to gather some common questions and answers so that you can read through and learn what other top players in your games are doing to be so successful. Maybe you can pick out a tip or two that you can incorporate into your life and playing career that will also have a positive impact on you. This is another great way for you to learn from others, and you will also be able to fill out your own questionnaire if you like once you become a member. We also host free roll home game tournaments on PokerStars for our members. These are fun tournaments that we run periodically where we literally give away hundreds of dollars of cash and prizes and also give you some bragging rights within the group. Finally, we offer updates and support. I know I mentioned support earlier, but with our team, you will always receive updates on industry news, exclusive bonus, and rakeback deals. Having staked and coached thousands of players, it is our job to be up to date on anything and everything that is affecting the poker world. At any given time, we are staking 70 to 100 players. Therefore, we have tens of thousands of dollars invested on a variety of poker rooms. So we need to know which rooms are the most safe and reliable to work with, which rooms are the best for particular games, and which rooms give the best bonuses and rakeback. Accordingly, we speak with poker room managers weekly so that we can get news and updates to pass on to you even before they are public knowledge. In addition, because we have placed so many players on specific poker rooms, we can give our team members exclusive bonuses that are not available anywhere else. When you become a team member, you will have all the support at your fingertips. So no more emailing customer support or talking to a live chat assistant who cannot answer your questions. You come to us and we will go directly to the poker room manager on your behalf. Now, if you remember from earlier, I asked how adding a few percentage points to your ROI would affect your profitability and income. Do you think that with all of the resources that I just described, you will be able to improve your ROI by just 1%? Well, let's take a look at what adding just 1% to your ROI would mean to your overall profitability. Let's say you're a player who was already successful in beating your games. Let's say you play about 2,000 games per month of the $15 18-mans at an ROI of 8%, which is what a lot of the regular winning players are achieving at those games. That means you will make $2,400 in profit on average that month. Now, let's say you increase that ROI by 1%. That means you will make an extra $300 per month, which translates to $3,600 per year. That's not bad at all for just a 1% increase in your ROI. Now, let's say you do what I did when I introduced these strategies into my own game. I used to play a lot of 18-mans, and after introducing these strategies into my game, my 18-man ROI went from 12% to 16% at the $15 level. So let's go back to our calculation. Now let's say that 8% ROI jumps to 12% over 2,000 games a month. Your average monthly income will go from $2,400 to $3,600 a month, or an extra $14,400 per year on average. Think about how that would affect your life and your playing career. Now, I understand that these are just example numbers, and not all of you are playing $15 18-mans or even have a positive ROI. And I understand that estimating profits in poker is very tough to do, but that doesn't matter. What I'm showing you is that no matter what game format you play, from 6-max through 180-man sit-and-goes, with the strategies and support that you will get inside the members portal, you're going to be able to make more plus EV plays in every single game you play, which will inevitably mean your ROI will go up. So take a look at your own games and your own ROI. Calculate out how much more money you can make by just increasing your ROI a few percentage points. And also think about how much faster you're going to be able to move up stakes as well, even if you're just making an extra $50, $100, or $200 more a month. So you're probably wondering now, how much is all this going to cost? Well, how much would you be willing to pay to get an edge over every other player at the table and increase your profitability month after month? Would you pay $200, $500, or even $1,000 if you knew these strategies would allow you to enhance your ROI and see your profits skyrocket? By the way, I've seen sit-and-go courses go for well over $1,000. Well, you're not going to pay anywhere close to that. For lifetime access to all the benefits within the members portal, the cost to you is just $97. Just think, if all of the videos and reviews and community support can just help you increase your ROI a fraction of a percentage, you will more than make back your money within the first month or even the first week. When you then compare the cost of other services such as courses, subscription sites, and personal coaches, you will be paying hundreds if not thousands of dollars, but then once you stop paying, your resources and support come to an end. Even while you're paying for those services, you will not have access to such a vast community of players and resources at your fingertips on a daily basis. Practically all of the members that have joined our team have said that the members portal access at this price is pretty much a no-brainer. I encourage you now to read below for even more details about our members portal. Hopefully by the time you're done listening to this little sales pitch and reading below, you will feel that joining is a no-brainer as well. But just to give you even more security to prevent any buyer's remorse after you join, we provide a 2-week, 100% money-back guarantee, no questions asked. So if for whatever reason you do not think that all of the member portal benefits are for you, you will get a 100% refund and we part as friends. Well, that's it, guys. I thank you for listening and hope to see you inside the members portal.